Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Frater Atrius Horace with Lansingrow Priory TTO, broadcasting to you from the Hermetic Hermitage in the foothills of the Ozark Mountains. Welcome back. Glad to have you. Welcome all. If you're a new viewer, new subscriber, I'm glad to have you. And as always, if you're a returning viewer, a returning subscriber, welcome back. I definitely appreciate your support. This episode is number 27, I believe. Frater Perdurabo. I'm going to have a few books here from Brother Richard Kaczynski. I think I've shown off a book or two of his in the past, but tonight we got a couple of books of his, and have a book that I had never seen before. I found on the auction on eBay I say a few weeks, probably more like a couple of months ago. And there's Mocha. I don't think she made an appearance in my last couple of videos, but here she is. I've got a new book that I found on eBay that I have been super excited about checking out. So it's going to be new to me as it is new to you, which is of course the whole theme of this video series. You get to see books for the first time, as I get to see books for the first time. So hope everything goes well. I've noticed for some reason my microphone decided to increase its sensitivity by a ridiculous amount. The last couple of videos I made, I've had to put it really close because it wasn't the gain on it wasn't working, wasn't what it should be. But now for some reason I started recording tonight and the gain is off the chart, so bear with me for any technical difficulties, but everything seems to be working okay, and I don't know what's going on, but we're gonna roll with it, folks. So let's get started. Again, I found this a lot of books on eBay a few months back. One is one that I had never heard of before. I'm pretty sure it's some sort of independently, privately published 5th degree OTO book. So I've been excited to finally bust into this and see what it's about. So let's get started here and see what we've got. The thing is, I've got a particular order I want to show everything in, so let me get everything sorted here in a particular order. And yeah, ooh. Oh yeah. Woo, I'm looking at one of them already, and let me tell you, I think it's everything that's everything that I thought it was going to be, and then some. So oh, I'm definitely going to be excited about this one. Alright, if you're not familiar with Brother Richard, he is a Crowley scholar and high degree member of the OTO. Short story here. I've had the privilege of meeting Brother Richard a couple of times, I guess at least 3. at Noticons, the National OTO convention that's held biannually across the U.S. I think it was a mere second degree in the OTO when Richard and his then wife came to Branson, Missouri. His wife was in the I don't know what you would call it. Her job at the time was to book conventions and for different organizations. So they came to Branson to check out some of the hotels in the area as part of her job. And as I was then a member of Soul Invictus Oasis in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and a couple of our members at the time were seeking baptism and confirmation. So we all loaded up in a car one day and drove up to Branson to meet Richard and his wife. Richard at the time was a 7th degree OTO and a bishop in the EGC. And we drove up to Branson, Missouri, and Richard baptized and confirmed a couple of our local body members in the EGC. And then we took him out to supper and had a nice dinner with him, and I've got to meet him a couple other times at Noticon since then. The last Noticon I went to, Noticon 11 I believe it was. He was an 8th degree OTO, so not that that means a whole lot to anybody who may be watching this, but just giving you a little background. He may be a 9th degree by now, I don't know. But definitely he is a Gnostic bishop in the EGC and a Sovereign Grand Inspector General, and he is one of the preeminent Crowley scholars, and he's written a few books on Crowley. One of which is Perdurabo, The Life of Aleister Crowley. This is the first edition of his book. He also has published since this a revised and expanded edition hardcover, which I also have a copy of. Just a little story a long time ago. Oh, this was back in probably around 2005. I got involved with Jason Newcomb and his New Hermetics program. Met a guy from Colorado, became friends with him. He was also into Thelema. He was also into Jason Newcomb's New Hermetic program. And he had a copy of this back in 2004, 2005, 2006. This was a very rare and expensive book to get a copy of. And my friend, his name was Doug, and he had sent, he'd let Jason know he had a copy of this, so he sent, mailed it to Jason because Jason wanted to read it again. He didn't have a copy. And then me and Doug and another lady, we all went to Sarasota, Florida to meet Jason and to get initiated into the Advanced Adept part of the New Hermetics program after we had finished the initial one-year course with Jason. And Jason had taken his copy of Perdurabo and had met Richard at a Noticon and had run into Lon Duquette and had both Richard and Lon Duquette sign it, and had Richard had written a little short dedication in there or a message to Doug at the time. And when we went down to Sarasota for his for our initiation, Jason gave it back to Doug and said, "Oh, by the way, I ran into Richard at a Noticon and he signed it for you." And at the time, we were all like totally blown away. And this was probably a couple years before I joined the OTO, so we were all like just amazed that not only did Doug get his book back, but he got it signed by both Richard and Lon, and had a little dedication in there to Doug for it. And we all thought that was just the coolest shit ever. You know, back when you're a lowly Minerval or first degree in the OTO, and you hear, you know of all these amazing high degree people in the OTO, and you think they're just the most amazing people ever. So seeing Doug get a copy of his Perdurabo back, not only get it back, but get it signed by Richard Kaczynski and Lon Duquette, was pretty mind-blowing at the time, and I was super jealous. I mean, back in the day, back in 2005, this was selling for like $200, $250 a copy. No joke. It was really hard to get a copy of for a reasonable price. So not only having a copy, which was I was jealous of in and of itself, but to get a copy personally signed by Richard was just amazing. But yeah, this is Richard's Crowley biography, published by New Falcon. As you can see, back in the day, it was 1995. There is a little separation here on the edge of where the plastic binding over the cover is starting to come loose, but otherwise it is a extremely good copy. A little ding here in the corner. I also have a copy of this, not signed or anything by Richard, but it came as a part of this book lot. So, and there were a couple other books in this lot that I really wanted, so I got this as a bonus. But the beautiful thing about this copy is it was signed by Richard to a Sarah something or another. I can't make out that last name, but as you can see, 93 fraternal greetings from Noticon from August the 10th, 2003. Otherwise, it is just a, standard copy of Perdurabo by Richard. Oh, fascinating. I didn't know this was in there. There are some notes here that I did not realize were in, that were not noted in the auction. This is Lecture Noticon 8/10/2003. It looks like the lady that possessed this copy made some notes in it while she was there. Fascinating. This is amazing. It says Lecture Noticon 8/10/2003, 22 Germer Neophyte formula mixed to make special procedure very similar to our Neophyte ritual. Structure of ritual determined by the number of the something or the formula. Pure Meados. Crowley and C.S. Jones wrote it. It was used on Crowley the first time. 1909, 1920. Paris working. More sex on the magic. V&V. Amaranth, Abeldes, Ulysses, V&V, November 23rd to December 19th, 1909. Something, Ulysses on the Wednesdays, Abeldes, something, 1928, December, black and gold, something, Joe Jork. I can't quite make out the handwriting here. That's fascinating. You know, that's almost 19 years ago that whoever took notes on this took notes in this copy of this book signed by Richard. That is extremely interesting. I did not expect that. Didn't know that was in here. Wow. Wow. As you may know, Richard greatly revised and expanded Perdurabo a few years ago and released it in a hardback copy, which I also have a copy of. But this is, aside from a little separation of the cover here, a little ding down here in this corner, it is in extremely good condition. Yeah, I'm tickled that whoever had this book signed ended up taking notes in it at a lecture that I have to assume that Richard gave at this Noticon. Fascinating. Oh, that's brilliant. Awesome. Very glad to have it. Let's move on to our second book here. This is the Blue Equinox Journal, issue number 1, summer 2005. Perdurabo Outtakes, also by Dr. Kaczynski. I'm guessing this is, let me get you a back shot of the back cover here. We can get some glare off of it. I'm assuming this is an elaboration on Perdurabo. This book is kind of hard to find these days, which is another reason I wanted this. Wanted to get this lot on eBay. This is not signed, but give me a shot of the table of contents here. Some more background information on Crowley. Looks pretty cool, and this should be, I do believe this is a first edition. Let me see. Yes. First edition from 2005. It's kind of a companion to Perdurabo. As far as I'm aware, they only made 2 volumes of this Blue Equinox Journal. The second volume is entitled Panic in Detroit. This did not come in the lot. This I purchased separately. This one is still available. This is the Centennial edition, revised and expanded. The first edition of this is pretty hard to get a hold of and is pretty expensive. But this Centennial edition, as far as I'm aware, is still available new on Amazon.com. If you would like to own a copy. This was reprinted in 2019, it looks like. Originally published in 2006, again in 2013, and then again in 2019. So this is not the first edition or the original edition. Like I said, it is pretty rare and hard to come by these days. But this is Volume 2 of the Blue Equinox Journal. And as far as I'm aware, as far as I can tell, these are the only 2 volumes to come out for the Blue Equinox Journal. So that's Panic in Detroit by Dr. Kaczynski. One of the other books in the lot here is a well-worn and old edition of Astrology, Your Place in the Sun by Evangeline Adams. It is commonly believed that this was ghostwritten by Crowley. I know the OTO republished a copy of Astrology in hardback in the early to mid 2000s. I haven't looked it up, but I do believe that it is still available and in print. The new version is attributed to Crowley and Evangeline Adams, but this looks like to be a first edition, possibly. There's a book plate here by Velta. Cover price was $5.95. I don't see Crowley's name on here anywhere so far. 100 Horoscopes of Famous People. Dodd, Mead and Company, New York. I'm not sure when this was published. Well, copyright 1930, Evangeline Adams. This is the 22nd printing. Just by looking at it, I would say it's probably from the 70s. Late 70s, early 80s maybe. Of course, it has been reprinted by the OTO under, as I think it is now just called Astrology by Aleister Crowley and Evangeline Adams. It has a lot of birth charts for famous people. It's a pretty hefty book. I've had the OTO version for a number of years now. So this was just a bonus to get a copy of this in the picture of the it was kind of a bonus to get a copy of this in the original edition. It's obviously from some used bookseller for $1. And then again this book plate. So nothing new here. It was just nice to get a original edition. I really wish I knew when this was printed. Definitely it seems like a from the 70s. The dust jacket's not perfect. It does have some wear and some rips on it. And I don't see anything on here anywhere that mentions Crowley. But like I said, it's commonly believed that Crowley actually ghostwrote this book, and then Evangeline Adams just put her name on it. I didn't bother to get my OTO copy off the shelf to show it off, but you can look it up on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's still available, but you know what, let me check. Oh wow, yeah. It was published under the title The General Principles of Astrology. It's in a hardcover. It's a little bit bigger than this. It's attributed to Aleister Crowley with Evangeline Adams. It was published in September of 2002, and it is edited by Hymenius Beta, and is currently going for a little over $72 new. So yeah, that's quite a bit more expensive than what I paid for this whole lot of books. But it's still available if you're interested. It's called General Principles of Astrology now. But it's basically the same book, edited by Hymenius Beta, the Frater Superior of the OTO. And finally, we have the book that I have been waiting to look at for quite a while now. The Pelican. Vernal Equinox, Anno 4/14, 2006 EV. It does have a little ding down here to the corner. When I saw this, I was like, I have got to get this lot. I actually messaged the seller to see if they would send me a picture of the table of contents, and they never responded to me, so I went ahead and bought it anyway. If you're not in the OTO, the Pelican, well, let me back up. The OTO publishes a newsletter for all OTO members. The general newsletter is called Agape. It's comes out anywhere from quarterly to maybe once or twice a year. They also have a journal called The Pelican that is limited to Lovers Triad members, 5th degree and above. So when I saw this, The Pelican, a book that I'd never heard of before, in this lot, I was like, holy crap. This has to be a collection of essays or something that was published for the 5th degrees and up, or Lovers Triad from OTO, and it was obviously privately published. I've never heard of this before, and I know quite a bit about OTO. I was in it for a little over 10 years. So when I saw this on an eBay auction, I was like, I have to get this. I have to add this to the library, because it has to have something to do with Lovers Triad, and there cannot be this many copies out and about floating around, especially copies in the hands of people outside of Lovers Triad OTO. Here on the back we have The Passion by Aleister Crowley, The Development of U.S. Grand Lodge Process of Invitation to the 5th Degree by Sabazius. Okay, this is definitely 5th degree stuff here. Very early Rose Crow's Ritual, A Long Night's Journey into Day, a Yuletide Drama by Richard Kaczynski. Address to the Psyche Eros Chapter, July 2001 by Hank Hadid. Chapters are basically the bodies for Lovers Triad. In the Man of Earth Triad in OTO, you have camps, chapters, and lodges. Lodges have to be headed up by 5th degrees or greater. And then you have chapters Rose Craw that are limited to 5th degree, 6th degree, 7th degree members that are members of the Lovers Triad. 2 lectures for New Knights by John Yarker. Obviously, Knight of the East and West being the first invitational degree in the OTO that lies after 4th degree and before the 5th degree. And then I believe the first sub-degree of the 5th degree is a Knight ordained Rose Craw, And then you have a Knight of the Red Eagle, which is a subdegree, I believe. You become a Knight of the Red Eagle if you join the Electoral College in the 5th degree. I'm doing all this from memory. I didn't do my research before I made this video, so I may be wrong, but bear with me here. We have On the Harmony of Our Garden by Frater R.R. A Rose-Craw Ode by Dionysus. The Rosicrucian Orders by Franz Hartmann. The Book of the Great Serpent, An Anatomy of a Reversible Talisman. The Priestess of the Temple of Isis by Frater SLQ. The Mentor Program by Eliza McBride. And Notes on the Alphabets and Hieroglyphs by E.J. Marconis. Wow. This is definitely something that was published for Lover's Triad OTO from 2006. Lover's Triad begins at the 5th degree. It is by invitation only. Everything past 4th degree OTO is invitation only. The 1st degree past 4th degree is called the Knight of the East and West. It technically exists outside of all the triads, and is the degree at which you can become a... Okay. It's the degree at which you can become a ordained as a priest or priestess in the EGC. And the first full initiatory degree into the Lover's Triad is the 5th degree, which is by invitation only. And as it says right here, the Pelican is confidential under the seal of the 5th degree of the Mysteria Mystica Maxima. No copy is to be given, loaned, sold, or traded to anyone who does not hold that degree in good standing. Whew, yes. As someone who has long studied and lusted after the mysteries of the OTO, this is like the Holy Grail. This is everything I was hoping it would be, and then some. Welcome to the first number of the Pelican. This private journal is provided to you as a benefit of membership in the 2nd Triad of OTO within the United States Grand Lodge. It is issued with the intent of serving as a venue for initiated research on pertinent topics and documenting and sharing the work and history of chapters throughout the order. Frequency of issue will in some measure depend on the volume's contribution from initiates, but will not exceed once per year. The Pelican is confidential under the seal of the 5th degree of the Mysteria Mystica Maxima. No copy is to be given, loaned, sold, or traded to anyone who does not hold the degree in good standing. Some of the informational contents may be appropriate to share with persons who have not been initiated into the Rose-Craw Order and may be indicated as such. Inquiries about degree confidentiality of specific materials in the Pelican may be directed to the editors or to the Grand Secretary General. And this is by Oasis. Wow. Wow. The development of the U.S. Grand Lodge process of invitation to the 5th degree. Wow. Yes. This is everything I was hoping it would be, and then some. Yes. Oh, wow. This is a publication that was limited to members of the Lover's Triad of OTO, published in 2006. I don't know if they made any subsequent editions. Knowing OTO, I wouldn't be surprised if this was the only edition that was ever published and written. Here we have a list of rose crawl bodies of the MMM in the United States. Wow. Yeah, buddy. This is something else, man. This is something that should not have ever escaped the hands of a 5th degree member of the OTO. And I'm sitting here flipping through it with you right now. Wow. I have long been fascinated with the 5th degree, and my 10 years in the OTO, I was never privileged enough to get invited up past the 4th degree of the Man of Earth Triad. Never made it to KEW. To be honest, I didn't want to make it to KEW if I wasn't going to go ahead and make it to 5th. Of all the things that I set out to accomplish in the OTO, I accomplished everything but getting invited up to the 5th degree. I completed the Man of Earth Triad. I was chartered as an initiator. I was ordained as a deacon in the Ecclesia Gnostica Catholica. I was a body master of 2 different bodies, and I did everything I wanted to do except make it into the 5th degree. I didn't want to make it to KEW and stop. I know the OTO has a bad habit of inviting people that they don't consider worthy of 5th degree, but make a big deal about it. They'll invite them up to KEW and then stick them there and leave them there, because technically the Knight of the East and West exists outside of all the triads. So I said, you know, either I'm going to stay in Man of Earth and be a Man of Earth, or I'm going to make it into Lovers. So when it became clear that I wasn't Lovers material, I closed my body and stepped down from the OTO. The private organ of the Holy Order RC of HRDM under the Supreme Grand Council of MMM of the United States of America. Wow. So yeah, I've been long fascinated. I have copies of both Francis King's Secret Rituals of the OTO and the OTO Rituals and Sex Magic that was put out by IAO Books. So I have read the Ritual of the 5th degree, at least what has been published in the past. I can't verify or vouch for how accurate those particular rituals are, and as compared to what is currently used to initiate members of the 5th degree in the OTO. But it has long fascinated me. I like to think that I achieved my own initiation into the 5th degree under my own power through the guidance of my HGA. One of the requirements of the 5th degree is you have a symbol of the order tattooed upon your chest over your heart. Is that you have to have the tattoo to be allowed admittance into a chapter of the order. And I do have my own version of the OTO 5th degree that I've had tattooed over my heart in recognition of the fact of my belief and feeling and understanding that I have achieved the requirements of the 5th degree. Whether or not that's recognized by anybody outside of the OTO, I don't really care. That's a matter between me and my holy guardian angel. But this definitely will give me some food for thought and some stuff to chew on. I know there's a large gulf between reading a initiation ritual and actually undergoing the initiation ritual, but I think I get enough of it. I think I got enough of it. I think I understand enough of it that I'll claim the degree. I'll claim the degree Rose Craw to anybody that wants to challenge me to that. Whether or not I was officially initiated or recognized by the OTO is not really important to me at this point in my career. But yeah, this is definitely something that was written and published and meant to be kept under the seal of the oath of the 5th degree OTO, and I really can't overstate my excitement to have a copy of this. If there were other copies produced after 2006, I would definitely like to know about them. And if anybody wants to have has one they want to sell or donate, get in touch with me. I will definitely make you an offer on it. But this is yeah, this is everything I hoped it would be and more. You know, sometimes you take a chance and pull the trigger on something, and it turns out to be more than you could have ever expected. And this is definitely one of those cases. I am just over the moon with this. I don't even know what to say. But yes, definitely, you can probably hear it. There's a one more going on in the background here since I've got the window open. But to wrap it up, I've got a copy of the Pelican, a copy of Astrology Your Place Among the Stars. Like I said, I already had a copy of Panic in Detroit, the Centennial edition, but I was also able to acquire a copy of Volume 1 of the Blue Equinox Journal and a signed copy of Perdurabo. So that's going to do it for this evening. I appreciate your support, your viewership. As always, if you like what you see, drop me a note if you don't mind. Always happy to have new subscribers, and we'll be back next week with a more books. I got a lot of stuff coming up this summer. Got a ton of stuff over here sitting. You obviously can't see it, but I have quite a pile of stuff over here to my left that is waiting to be open on video. I've got some amazing stuff I can't wait to show off. Amazing stuff I can't wait to see myself. And again, I do this for the occult community, the bibliophile community. I'm not doing it to show off or brag at what I have. I always try to remain very humble. I don't try to self-promote. I'll never ask for money. I'll never have a Patreon. I'm not going to ask you to send me money so I can buy books for my own personal collection. That's just not who I am. I do this for the occult community, the bibliophile community. I want to be able to show people books like this that they may not otherwise have a chance to see or even know exist. I did not know this even existed until I saw it for sale on eBay a few months ago. So, you know, I'm just happy that through magic and through my will that I'm able to acquire these books and be able to show them to you guys. That's all I could ever ask for, and I just appreciate just your viewership I appreciate your support, a kind word, a subscription to the channel. That's all I'll ever ask for. I'll never ask for any of your money or anything other than that. I'm just happy to be able to present this stuff to you guys and show you what's out there, and to build the library here at the Hermetic Hermitage for the future. And on that note, I'm going to sign off for the evening. As always, love is the law, love under will.